recorded. Yep.
Okay. So, hello and welcome everyone. I request you all to close your eyes. No cheating. Okay. So, take a deep breath. Inhale long and slowly exhale. Continue taking deep breaths while I say this gratitude prayer and try to repeat it in your mind. So, thank you, God, for giving such a wonderful life to all of us. Thank you, Lord, for supporting us in all the phases of our lives. Thank you, God, for sending a messenger, for giving me an opportunity to be part of this beautiful association. Thank you, God, for uniting us to support each other, our friends, our families towards good health and a great life. Thank you, God, for the job opportunity, which is bringing food and shelter to our table. And finally, thank you, God, for giving us the opportunity to speak here, share our learnings and experience from life and the books we read. Now, slowly exhale, release all the tension from your body, from your mind. Feel the calmness and slowly open your eyes. So, thank you so much for joining. I hope you'll have a wonderful time.
All right. Thank you so much, Mohini.
Yeah,
Over
I
to
like
you.
the smiles when they open their eyes. That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So shall we start?
Yes.
Awesome. So welcome to our book club, guys. I don't want to give another intro after this much big intro by Kiran. So I just want to start the book club by calling the first person. But before that, I just want you all to tap on your back and say, Sabash, you joined, you took a step. The difference between success and failure is taking a step, right? Everyone will think that we should do it, but you guys took a first step to it. Great that you guys are committing to the book club. In talking about these things, we all need to learn about leadership, right? So in this world, it's leadership is not like you are in a CEO role. We all should learn things as we are working with peers, or maybe with your senior also, you might work as a leader, understanding them. So to know more about how we can handle, leadership things, I would request Nikita to talk about the continuation of how leadership should be.
Oh, hi. Okay, I guess you can see me, hear me. Right, and my internet is again very unstable, so if things go wrong, just let me know, okay? Let me share my screen. Okay, it says host has disabled participant screen sharing.
Can you try now?
Okay, let me try again. Yep, okay, works. There we go. Okay, so I'll do a quick recap because it's been a while since I've been here. Okay, so we were talking about 10 golden rules for leaders. The first one being, don't expect others to do things that you wouldn't do for them. Second was, fear is commanded, respect is earned. Third one, be honest and trustworthy. Fourth one, help more, judge less. Fifth one was, avoid the temptation of adding too much value. Okay, now let me actually stop screen share. I don't know how I can do that. Okay, so sorry, just one more thing. And the sixth one, sorry, we looked at was arouse interest in other people. Now, before I go to the seventh one, I want to tell you this little thing, this little research or questionnaire that Marshall Goldsmith did when he was teaching leadership skills to CEOs. He asked all these major CEOs and leaders in companies, who is your favorite person in your family? Any guesses? Who people thought was their favorite family member? I can give you a hint, it was not wives.
Mom.
Mother.
Mom. Actually, Rohit has got it right. So I'll give you, well, let me, sorry, share my screen again. And here's to why. Where is it again? Okay, so here's to why. Oh. So he asked why, because you can't be serious. You can't love your dog more than you love your wife, right? Or your children for that matter. But all of them said, look, you know, the dog is always happy to see me come home. If I come home early, he's happy. If I come home late, he's still happy. If I come home drunk, he still doesn't mind. He's still happy. What happens with your wife or your children? They ask you questions. Why are you late? Time dekha hai? Kahan the? What were you doing? And all those kind of questions. But a dog never does that. He's always happy. You come home drunk, you come home knackered, whatever it is, he doesn't have a problem with that. So what does that go to show? That we tend to like people who like us. And in a office environment or in a professional context, what does that mean? People who tend to like us, so people who are the yes sir, yes, or yes ma'am, yes type of people, who would never condemn you, never criticize you, never give you any feedback, always say to you that, oh, you're so good at this. Those are the people that we tend to like. We tend to think, no, but there are good friends. In short, they're probably just good suck-ups. So the moral of the story is, I don't know if I can go down to this. Okay, so what Marshall Goldsmith recommended leaders was don't play favorites. But for that, what we need to be aware of is an unconscious bias of ours. We tend to like people who like us. That's very natural. We tend to like people who are like us. So all the engineers here, people who are IIT alumni, they all got together naturally. Why? Because you tend to like people who are like you. And lastly, that is our unconscious bias. So only when we are aware of this unconscious bias, that's when we can tend to categorize people as, why do we like this person? Is it because he's truly a good friend, or is he being just a good suck-up? Now, a good way of finding out your unconscious bias is make a list of all the people who you like, who you call your friends, and then try and think, why is it that I like this person? And more probably, the answer is going to be that either they are one of the two, they are like you, or they like you. So be aware of your unconscious bias. I recently found out my unconscious bias, which was, I follow this author called Minhee Jong-Bayer. You can look her up on LinkedIn. And she is not a typical university professor. When I read her books, I had not known who this Minhee Jong-Bayer was. She's done her PhD in neuroscience, and I loved her work. When I met with her for the first time at a conference, I just refused to believe that that is the person who's written this book. Because this person, she does not look like a typical university professor that I had pictured her to be, an old lady with, you know, scruffy clothes and kind of does not care about her appearance. This woman was very young. She has tattoos all over, dark makeup, looks like a punk. And that's what it is. So I quickly realized I was just not willing to accept this person to be someone who's of that intellect. And that was my unconscious bias. I would have naturally gravitated to people with big glasses and scruffy clothes, old people looking like university professors. So just be aware of your unconscious biases, because as a leader, we tend to favor people who either say yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, all the time, or people who are more like us. Oh, you're from Mumbai. Oh, you're from this university. That's what we tend to do. So don't play favorites and be aware of your unconscious bias. Thank you.
That's one fantastic talk, Nikita. So this just reminds me of my previous boss. He's an amazing person. He just treats everyone equally, and he gets thoughts and ideas of everyone from the workplace equally. And we just created an awesome work environment. We never hated each other, right? Even at some workplaces, we hate people, like, because our boss tends to give, do favorites with others. And that's very important thing to be a leader, because when you treat everyone equally, you get the ideas from everyone equally, and you prioritize things towards the destination. That's one awesome topic. And when you were talking about leadership, I was thinking, like, so how you can create more leaders, like, or how you can influence more people as a leader. And I thought Karthik might share some insight into this topic. with his today's input. Karthik?
Yeah, thank you so much, Shrikant. I really loved your setup, book club setup. Uh, yeah, so hi guys. I hope you're all safe and well. So it's been a while I spoke in this book club, so it is like back to home kind of feeling. So I was covering a series on the book Becoming a Person of Influence. Okay, so I think after I started, we spinned off and moved to Friday. So my talks all went to Friday book club. So I'll be continuing and I'll be sharing the last aspect from this book. Okay, so if you have missed in between any of my talks in between on this series, you can go to my our Growth Express channel and watch it again. But that's okay. It's not a family man series, so you can still understand what I tell today. So I'll quickly share my screen. I hope you are able to see. Okay, we'll just provide a small recap and we'll discuss what we are going to talk today about multiplication. So initially, to start with, we discussed about being a model, that is having integrity with people. Second thing is about motivate, how you can nurture others, right? Third thing is about mentorship, like how you can navigate people through their life difficulties and empower them. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the last aspect about reproducing other influences through multiplication, right? So the author talks about, we have two authors in this book, Jim Donnan and John Maxwell. Okay, so both of them share how successful they were because of using this aspect in their life. Okay, they owe all their success to this multiplication of leadership. Okay, so also, right, if you see, if you are in a relay race, okay, and if the runner is running well, that's fine, but if he is not able to pass on the baton to another runner, okay, he will lose the game. So we should be able to know how we can pass on the baton smoothly to other leaders so that we can influence them. Okay, so reproducing leaders raises your influence to a new level. Okay, so when you are influencing other people, okay, you're not just influencing them, but you're also indirectly influencing people that they influence, right? So reproducing leaders raises the new leader's personal potential. Okay, if you are an independent contributor and if you are doing all the work by yourself, you can achieve only that much. But if you understand leadership principles and apply these concepts, right, you can blow the lead of your personal potential. Reproducing leaders multiplies resources. Okay, so if you pass on the load and authority, if you delegate those to other people, okay, you will definitely get loyalty from them, and also you will get more time for yourself, right? So reproducing leaders ensures a positive future for your organization. Okay, so don't ever be afraid of having employees or having people in your team who are smarter and good at certain tasks than you are. Okay, so because even when, after a leader retires from an organization or leaves the organization, right, this organization has to run because of them. Okay, John Maxwell shares a very interesting story with respect to this aspect. In 1955, he was serving as a senior pastor in one of the churches. Okay, and he was in that church for almost 14 years. Okay, when he resigns from there, and he starts another organization called Enjoy, that is focused on leadership growth and personal development. Okay, and that also became successful. But during this course, okay, he received a beautiful letter note from his one of his leaders from the previous church. Okay, he thanked him so much because the church was able to grow even after 14 years of John Maxwell's presence over there, and he left. Even after that, he was able to grow because John Maxwell influenced them and developed and reproduced so many leaders to take care of it. Okay, even after he left, right? So we'll see how you can awaken the reproducer in you. Okay, everybody will have this characteristic. Okay, how we can awaken that, right? So lead yourself well. So it's a common sense that if you don't lead yourself, you can't lead others, right? It seems that majority of the leaders are unsuccessful because they are not able to lead themselves, right? So what are the characteristics you need? It can be setting right priorities in your life, having goals, or having problem solving abilities. Okay, so casting vision. There are so many characteristics of a leader, right? So Nikit also wonderfully shared one aspect today. So we need to have a burning desire and set up a game plan to inculcate these leadership qualities in us. Okay, so look continually for potential leaders, right? So again, industrialist Andrew Carnegie emphasizes, right? So you can what he emphasizes is no man is a great leader, okay, if he does all the work himself and takes all the credit of it. Okay, so you have to continually look for potential leaders. There is a saying, right? If a student is ready, teacher appears. It is also true that when a teacher is ready, student also appears, right? Commit yourself to developing leaders, okay, not followers. So I am sure you'll definitely agree, if you take any organization or a country as such, right, there is a gap. I mean, there is leadership crisis. Okay, if you take the strength of any company or the population of any country and see the number of leaders, right, there is a huge difference. There's a huge gap. Okay, so again, John Maxwell also tells in every of his book that everything rises and falls on leadership. Okay, so put your team first. Okay, like author has given certain questions, okay, which will determine how are you putting your team first. Okay, let us quickly see what are those questions. Do I add value to others? Okay, do I add value to the organization? Am I quick to give away the credit when things go right? Is our team consistently adding new members? Do I use my bench players as much as I could? Okay. Do many people on the team consistently make important decisions? Is our team's emphasis on creating victories, okay, more than producing stars? If any, for any question, if your answer is no, then you have to reevaluate your attitude towards your team. Okay. So the last slide I wanted to talk about is moving from maintenance to multiplication. So a lot of leaders are in maintenance mode. Okay. Why do you say, why do I say that? Okay, so 20% of the leaders, okay, in the development ladder, they are not growing themselves and they are not growing their employees also. So these employees are frustrated and they move on. So these leaders are always in a hunt of replacing those employees who left. So that's why it's called scramble. Okay, so 50% of the leaders, they just survive. Okay, so they are not growing. They are not letting their employees also grow, but they know how to maintain their employees, so the employees are not leaving in this thing, like organization is average and employees are not able to grow because their personal potential is not growing. So as such, there is no hope for the future, right? 10% of the leaders, okay, they help their leaders to grow. Okay, they empower them, but what they lack is they don't maintain good relationship with them. So what they do, they get empowered, they get all the leadership benefits and they switch, they move companies. So, okay, so again, their leaders take a lot of time to replace them. That's why it's called like employees are siphoned off from the organization. Okay, synergy. The fourth aspect is about 19% of the leaders are in this development ladder. Okay, they are able to empower the leaders, make them grow. They are also growing. Everyone is growing in the team, and as such, there is synergy in the team. Okay, so the organization is growing as a whole rather than in parts. Okay, the final aspect is significance. Majority of the leaders in synergy level, they fail to recognize that they can move one step forward. Okay, and this is where all the reproduction happens, all the influences multiply. Okay, the whole world is impacted because of leaders in this level. Okay, so the growth aspects and potential opportunities in this level is limitless. Okay, so finally, I would like to say, don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant. Okay, so as you know, developing leaders and influencing them is not an overnight journey. So you have to think about the seeds rather than the harvest initially. So before closing, I would like to give an example of this book club itself, because we know like it's been running from more than a year, which Kiran is driving, right? So when I joined, I remember only Supra, Bharat, Kiran, Bhushan, right? So and in this complete one plus years journey, I barely remember Vijay attending book club, because I think he has attended only once. Okay, he played cash flow quadrant and gave us an understanding on financial literacy. But other than that, all continuously running for more than a year, which Kiran is driving and multiplying the leaders. Okay, he helped me. He gave us an opportunity to spin off. Okay, how this multiplication can happen. Okay, because of these leaders and the vision of PIM, as Kiran was sharing, we have to impact 1 lakh professionals with effective communication life skills. Okay, how can this vision of Vijay and PIM can achieve? It's only when we multiply. Okay, when our book club multiplies. Okay, so when our book club multiplies, PM vision also can be achieved. In turn, we can also grow as leaders, right? So this is what I wanted to share. Thank you so much.
That's an awesome talk, Karthik. Like you explained very well, and it reminds me of one quote. So people are usually will see in WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, everywhere. People say like, what if I train people and they leave? And the other one says, what if you don't train and they stay? Same way, what if you don't let them be a leader and they always ask you what to do? At one point, you'll need leaders in your organization. You don't have anyone around you, all the ones are followers, right? And one such an example of the team effort is Elon Musk. If you look at his interview, how you were successful, the interviewer asked, and he says like, I hire great minds and let them to work freely, grow them as a leaders. So that's what all it is about. And no matter what you guys say, people will still complain, right? Complaining is one thing we keep doing. So I just want us to talk about complaining habit now. What do you think, Ash?
Yes, yes. Don't you feel complaining continuously and staying in that complaint mode is a habit? I remember I read about this lady who was complaining about everything that went wrong that day. She said, God, why did you let so many bad things happen to me? My alarm didn't go off. I was late to work. At lunch, they provided me the wrong sandwich. Again, I got late. While returning back home, my cell phone dropped a call right in the middle of the conversation, and I was not able to complete it. To top it off, at home, when I wanted to put my feet in the foot massager, it wouldn't turn on. Why everything went wrong that day? Why? God said, all right, let me go down the list. Your alarm didn't go off because there was a drunk driver waiting on the road. I delayed you on purpose so you wouldn't be harmed. At lunch, you have to return back the sandwich because the first person that cooked the sandwich wasn't feeling well that day, and I didn't want you to have what they had. So I had somebody else to cook another one for you. While returning back home, you have to cut the call right in the middle of the conversation because there was a truck waiting for you and that person was about to fill you with gossips. At home, you wanted to put your feet in the foot massager, but it didn't turn on because it had a short in it. And if you would have turned it on, it had knocked out the power and I didn't feel. You wanted to sit in the night without electricity. Could it be what's frustrating you really the hands of God? Could it be His working behind the scenes for you, for your good, protecting you, guiding you, positioning you? And we're not going to understand everything what's happening around us. Here is when we have to trust Him. And what is the use of complaining about something you have no intentions of changing for? Either you will make it or you will fake it. And if you feel that there's no God, you have to believe in a kind of phenomena which is working behind the scenes. Either it can be nature or universe, which is working for your good. So you have to be grateful for that. Therefore, let's start a new life of no complaints. And if you will pass this test, I believe and declare that you are going to rise higher. You're going to accomplish your dreams. You're going to convert your frustration into favor. You're going to convert your anger into compassion and become everything that God created you to be. So God bless you all and love you all. Over to you, Shrikant sir.
Awesome, Ash. Awesome. Whenever you talk, I feel like some motivational speaker is talking on the stage. It gives the vibes of that. This amazing way of displaying how complaining has become a habit of our lives. And yeah, true. I think it's time now that we accept things as they are and stop complaining and take action. And now that we need to stop complaining and make it a habit of taking action, why don't we ask Somya how to get the action of habit? Somya, do you want to share us about that?
Shrikant, I think Soumya is not there yet. Maybe you can.
All right. So if Somya is not there, maybe I'll ask Shraddha how to inculcate good habits because it's very hard to deal and stopping complaining is a bad habit, right? So how do we inculcate good habits? I want Shraddha to share us about those things. What do you think, Shraddha?
Yeah, sure, Shrikant. I would love to share. And for the same, I would like to share my screen. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. So before I start my talk today on how we can inculcate good habits if we feel it is difficult, I would like you all to take a moment and think about that one habit which you want to build from a long time, but you're finding it difficult. Maybe you can write it down or just think about that one habit which you feel is difficult to you to inculcate or build. So I hope everyone has just recalled it, means everyone is having one or two habits they feel is difficult. Like if you will see mine, I am having a list of habits which I really felt difficult a few days before, and they were like avoid eating sweets, workout every day, writing journal every day, wake up early to do the above two things, and brushing my teeth every night. I really felt these habits difficult for me to inculcate. But guys, every one of us knows that good habit actually shapes our lives. Like the good habit, the easy, small good habits can make our life better and actually can lead us to the desired life and make our dreams come true. But then, despite of the fact, many of the good habits we are not able to continue or we are not able to inculcate in ourselves. So the question here is why it happens, why we cannot build the good habits if it gives so much of benefits. So I guess the answer to this question is because all the good habits, are looks like a sacrifice initially. When you start any habit, you feel, because we don't get instant gratification when we go for some good habits, and we feel more as a sacrifice rather than some success. Let's say for an example, if we'll see the workout immediately in day 1, day 2, day 3, maybe day 10, day 20, day 30, you will feel unenjoyable. Initially, it's unenjoyable, but the ultimate outcome is good. Maybe after a year, you'll be in a good shape. And if you see on the other side, take a bad habit of, say, eating processed food. Immediately, you will enjoy it because you will satisfy your taste buds. But ultimately, the outcome is bad. Maybe after some time, you will find the problem of obesity or you'll become fat. So you can see here, if we'll see the good habit, the immediate outcome doesn't feel good. Maybe the ultimate outcome after some time is good. And if you will see the bad habits, immediately you will enjoy it, but ultimately the outcome is bad. And we focus more on the immediate thing, the instant gratification thing. So again, the question here comes is, how to deal with this? What can we do to make our today better or to just inculcate our habits? So the trick here is by making our good habits satisfying to us every day. Every time we do the habits, we can add a little element of satisfaction with the habit which we want to build. Like say for an example, they are very easy to do. If you think about it, you will get the answers how you can add the satisfying element in the habits which you actually want to build. Like say for an example, in my case, about eating sweets, what I did is, whenever I avoid eating sweet, I just save some amount in my piggy bank. If my kids' piggy bank, in that piggy bank, I just put some amount and I feel a satisfaction that actually I'm saving something by not eating sweets. Similarly, I love wearing new dresses, new clothes, and for that, for my workout, what I did is I bought new track pants and tees, and then I enjoy wearing it and doing my workout, and that way my workout became more regular. And if you'll see my journal writing thing, and every now and then I used to buy new pen and diary, and it keeps me the motivation thing to do journaling every day. Now here the question comes like, I need to wake up early morning to do my workout and journaling. So what I used to do is I used to do my YouTube editing, means video editing, first thing in the morning, because I enjoy doing the editing part. And so I have made a plan that I will do the editing first thing in the morning. And in this way, it helps me it helps me give the element of satisfaction when I wake up early, so early in the morning. And for my brushing my teeth, I used to take different flavored toothpaste, like mint flavor, or maybe nowadays I'm using the lemon flavored toothpaste, the Amway toothpaste. So in that way, in this way, I help myself add element of satisfaction on the habits which I actually wanted to build, because I know that these habits are though small but will lead to a great life for me. So this way I just add element of satisfaction on within my habits, and I inculcate my habit. Now guys, it's your turn to think about what is that one element of satisfaction you can add in your that habit which you found difficult, and how you can make it satisfying and interesting. So here, yeah, it's done only. Thank you guys. So this was my talk, and I really wish कि आप सब भी थोड़ा सोचें कि how you can add that element of satisfaction in that particular habit which you have written or think about on the start of my talk. Thank you, Shrikant, over to you.
Awesome, Shraddha, marvelous. So no matter how many times people talk about habits, it always feels interesting and different, right? Because we always keep failing to habituate with some things, right? So we always have something to do. That's really awesome. And why we all want to do habits, that's one thing I'll always focus about, because we want to become a specific person. Maybe I want to become a podcaster or YouTuber, so I want to consistently create videos. Maybe you want to become a good cook, you keep cooking. So what and all these things are, these are like value systems, right? We want to create an identity for ourselves, what we want to become. So if we don't understand those value systems, we don't know for what we are creating habits, right? For what you are creating habit, to become what. So in order for us to understand more about those value systems, I want Kiran to talk about those value systems and explain them in a very effective way to us.
All right. Awesome. I hope I am spotlighted. Great. Cool. Awesome. So values, huh? So tough and heavy topic, values. Okay, fine. So let me just ask you this question. So what do you think values are? Values ka matlab kya hota hai? Anyone can maybe put some chat box. I know everyone will have their own definition. You can just speak what is a value, and how do you know it is a value, and where do you think that value is essential in your life? Okay, 2 to 3 questions. What is a value according to you, and how do you know it is a value, and how do you use a value system in your life? So it's a very important topic actually. In fact, there's a saying as well: the mission and vision is like a heart of your body and the mind, and the body and heart is mission and vision, but the values are your spirit, your soul. So maybe that is some definition I could carry for myself. It comes from within, right? It defines you. But what is according to you? Let me just quickly check what anyone has shared. Okay, some things that our parents teach us initially. Wow, that's really nice. Okay, connection. Okay, anything else? Anyone else want to share anything? What is a value? Come on, guys, I need interaction. This is not a topic of giving gyan, because every one of us have our own value systems. So I need loyalty. That's nice. Mitesh has spoken another quality of it. Okay, great. So you can keep adding on it. Maybe I'll just go a little bit more deep to it so that maybe you can get some clarity. So there's always this common phenomena that if we want to change our world, we always aspire to climb the ladder of success. But actually, if you just change a paradigm, what if you climb the ladder of good values? So if you want to change your world, the in the natural tendency is to climb the ladder of success, or whatever definition we carry of success. But what if we focus on climbing the ladder of good values? And for that, knowing the value system is so essential, because if you know it, then at least you can work on that. Okay. So what a value system is nothing but those are principles and a basic map or a guide in your life, in your mind, which guides your decision and behaviors. Whatever behavioral things which you do in a daily to daily life, whatever opinion you pass or whatever comments you pass on anyone or on yourself, is just, it just says that what your value system is. And it guides your decision in whatever, like in whatever area you want to make it possible. Okay. So let's discuss about few good values. So because we all are here, definitely one good thing is that our value system is aligned, because all of us carry one of the most important value is we want to make positive change possible. And that is one of the biggest value we all carry. It is just, it doesn't have to be said, right? Because all of you are here and you believe in making positive change. And that is the reason we all are supporting each other to create this book club and this PIM and the Growth Express, to go to a level where we can impact more and more people. Another value system, what is the positive change possible? So there are a couple of people. I see Mohini so actively pursuing her passion. She takes the proactive step to do the gratitude prayer. She puts her own videos, because her internal value system is to create positive change. And I know in her personal life, she has so much of personal commitment. She has this interview preparation, this office work, so many things are there, but she never gave an excuse to not to do this, not to follow what her value system says. So value system creates positive changes in any aspect of your life. What is the second value system? How do you know that your value is good or not? Have you ever thought of it? मेरा वैल्यू अच्छा है कि नहीं कैसे पता चलेगा? Any guesses? This is very interesting explanation to this. How would I know if my value system is good? So this will answer most of your questions if you have any doubt. If you're struggling in your life to take decisions, मैं लूं कि नहीं लूं, क्या नहीं लूं, this will answer your question. Good values always value people. Any aspect of your life, if you have to take a decision, if you're able to bring people first and then anything else, then actually your value system is towards creating a good value. A good value system in a community is always to create a love across each other, to create caring feeling towards each other, to be happy about each other, and all those cultural values forms in the starting step. So if your value system is to value people, then trust me, this will be always good. Whatever decision you take in your life, maybe you want to when you want to donate a money, or you want to shramdan bolte na, you want to do some good things for people. So when you do anything in your life, if it is helping people, that is a good value. All right, this is the second point. The third is a good value system always changes your world. A good value system always makes you feeling that you are growing. Anytime in your life, if you feel ki somewhere I'm stuck, I'm going down, I'm feeling negative, you just have to start working on your values, nothing else. It's very simple. Maybe your values are being affected by any circumstances of your life, maybe bitterness of past, maybe being victimized. That's all right. That is the reason we all are here, to remind you of your own values. So your values can actually change your world for good. Last but not the least, good values create stability and establish trust. The reason we have been consistently coming to book club, PIM, and we're listening to Vijay's talks and all of those coaches, especially for me, is because I know them so personally, and I see them personally, how they live their life and what kind of values they practice. And their value system towards people is so strong that creates a synergical attraction towards me. So whenever I go to Vijay's place, automatically that some different aura comes into my head and I feel something different. Why? Because his value system completely resonates, and I've seen how many people he has impacted in his personal life. We have not seen many people. We know we talk so many people. There is some Mother Teresa. There's so many amazing people around. But if you know anyone in your circle who have done something good, you automatically get attracted if your value system is towards people. So create stability and trust. And trust me, if you don't have value, it's just that aapka bag hai, but usme kuch hai nahi. Your bag is empty. So everyone has to have this value. So just to summarize all of this, whatever we've spoken. So values are something which guides your behavior, guides your decision. And how to define something as a good value is something when a positive change is possible. Good value is something, it values people always. Good values is something, it changes your world in terms of positivity. The fourth is it creates stability and establishes trust. And this is what it is. So thank you so much, Shrikant, for calling me. So that's about it. Thank you so much.
Awesome, Kiran. So I think now that we know how to be a leader, what are a couple of bad habits, and how to build good habits, and now that in order to build the habits, we know what our value system should be. Now that we can define what our value systems are, we can set out into each thing, and I'm pretty sure this will define what we are. For me, my value system is consistency. If someone asks, "Who are you?" I'll answer, "I'm a consistent person." Because even I fail, I keep doing it, trying different approaches, trying different things, because that is what I am. And you might be someone who is down to earth. That might be your value system. So each one of us has one word that defines what we are, and based on that we do a lot of things, right? So that's really awesome. And now that we spoke about a lot of things, I want to talk about another amazing event that's been happening around every weekend, that is PM sessions and PM learnings. Now I just want you to as well talk a few things about the PM learnings, and take over and talk about these things, Kiran.
Sure. Thank you so much, Shrikant. So we'll go for the PM learnings while you all bring back the learnings which you learned last week. So let's quickly invite all the new folks who have joined for the first time. So guys, whoever, let me just open the list. I know Manas. I don't know if Manas is available. Manas, if you're there, I am spotlighting you. Can you please introduce to the team as well?
Yeah.
Just a second. Yep. Go ahead, Manas.
Hello, everyone. My name is Manas. I'm working as a IA division clerk in Health Department of Karnataka government. And I found this group on Meetup. And I've been reading from past at least 9 years. And I had been doing all this all along. So I thought joining this group or some whatever groups, like meeting people will take me to the next level of learning things. So I joined this group. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Manas, for an amazing intro. We also have Apurva. I don't know if Apurva, if you are available, if you don't have any parallel calls by any chance, could you please introduce yourself as well? A quick intro, your name, profession, who invited you.
Hello.
Yes, Apurva, you're audible.
Yes. Hi. Hi all. I'm Apurva. As Manas said, like even I found this group on Meetup, and my primary aim of joining this group is like to again bring my passion of reading and actually implementing the things into my life and getting my life better. So basically, I'm an IT professional, mostly into AI and ML, deep learning professional, for around 6 years, and yeah, looking forward to. Yeah, thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Apurva, for making it up. I know you had some calls lined up, but still you managed to come and share. That's really nice. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Who's next? It's Nikita Siva. If you can hear, Nikita Siva Sai. I don't know whether you can hear. Okay, awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear.
Okay. Can you quickly introduce yourself as well?
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. It's me, Nikita Sivasai. Actually, I'm from Tirupati and I'm a student. Even I found this group on Meetup, and it's my first time coming to a group, and especially on a Zoom call. It's feel new, but it's different, and it's like a nice experience and learning new things. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Nikita. Great. Do we have anyone else who have we missed out? Have we covered everyone? Any new person? All right. So I think we are done with introduction. If I missed out anyone, do just message me. I'll call you and then you can introduce yourself as well. Okay. All right. So we'll quickly go with the PIM learnings, quickly summarizing all the learnings which we learned last week. So who will help me out? So Shrikant, I think we also have a couple of speakers, right? In PIM learnings. Could you also maybe invite a couple of them? I think Nikita is there, Nikita G.
We have
Nikila.
Nikila, and then we have Uma.
Awesome. So guys, all yours. I don't know if Uma is available. Nikila, you can share any summary you want to share from last week PIM.
Yeah, sure, Kiran. Hello, everyone. Today I would like to give summary about PIM learnings. In our last PIM session, Vijay mainly talked about mission and vision statement topic. So he first asked about, do you know the mission and vision statement of your current organization? And then he continued with how we have to develop and then create mission and vision statement for our own lives. So with that as a baseline, he extended a few more questions like what did you do when you what did you like to do when you were a childhood, and what do you like to do at the present, at the present situation, and how is your decision pattern. So he has explained these three topics by taking examples like suppose if you are thinking to change a company, so how is your decision pattern, and then behavior is helping there or not. So these are the three main points that Vijay sir has covered in that last PM session. I think
Awesome.
that,
Awesome. Wonderful summary, Nikhila. Really loved the way you summarized all the points what Vijay covered in terms of questionnaire format. All right. So I think if Nikita G is there, Nikita G, you want to add few more points from your side?
Yeah, actually, Nikhila covered everything. Probably I will try to tell you what I learned from there, and I have a good story that connects with it. So of course, last session was quite kind of a thinker वाला. मुझे तो ये बना दिया, सोचने पे लगा दिया कि मैं क्या ही कर रही हूँ. So I guess we all in our life go through this phase कि what we are doing or what we want to be, and then if you like अगर हमें कुछ बनना है या कुछ decision लेना है, we take lot of advice, but we never ask ourselves that whether it is good for us, whether it will make us happy or not. So we take lots of decision like that. And I have we had a professor in my MBA. He's not working anymore. So if you look into his career, he's having almost 20 years of experience. He's 40 plus. And if you check his resume, he only told me personally wherever he was working, he never worked in a company for more than a year because he never liked, and he switched multiple industry, media, IT, everywhere. Now he is a content writer, I heard, because he himself told he doesn't know where he fits. He's still figuring out where he wants, what he likes. He tries to put in his leg in every industry so that he understand what makes him happy. And of course, like at this age, like, he's 40 plus, he's doing, then why can't we at least at this age, I guess we can think what is good for us. And last session actually it made me I guess instead of putting leg in everything, we can just go back to our past and just think what made us happy, what makes us so happy. Because passion, love, what we love and all, it's like it's like a connection. If we just go back to our past and connect all these dots, I guess it will help our present. Because like currently what I'm doing, I felt like yeah, it's related to what it makes me happy. Yeah, this is kind of job that I love to do it, and other than eating or wasting time, this is something else that makes me happy. So in short, what Vijay told was like, do whatever you makes it happy. And if you don't know what, just go think. I mean, just go back to your past, especially in your childhood, and check what makes you happy. That's all.
Wow, that's an amazing, Nikita. You covered with an example, related with example. I'm sure the exercise what Vijay covered to go into your past and dig down, like how Simon Sinek also mentioned, start with a why book, go inside and just start reflecting and get some answers for yourself. Amazing. Anyone else want to share quickly? And we have only 1 minute until we summarize this up. Shiva, do you want to add any point on the PIM learning? Shiva, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I'll take up another story. I'll take up next.
Okay, all right. Anyone else want to add anything?
Hello, Kiran. I would like to say something.
Sure, Sam, go ahead.
Whatever Vijay said is really true. Actually, that session was very important for me because whatever Vijay said, he's a live music lover. One incident will happen everywhere it is. I mean, whenever I listen to live music, I just stand there and start listening. I mean, when I was in France, as he said, there will be a live artist, sitarist who was playing in the street. Okay, I was just standing there 5 minutes. I was just standing and listening to him. So yeah, that's true. I mean, we should connect those dots, and it's really important to know
So
what.
Soumya, you are also someone who likes a little bit of glamour and success and recognition. So do I as well. So we carry a little bit of similar, I think, maybe values or the dreams. Amazing, nice, good to know, Soumya.
Yeah, but yeah, a lot of things to learn here actually in this community. I'm really happy to be part of this. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Soumya. Great. All right. So I think let's move next then. Srikanth, over to you. The next part.
Awesome. That's so beautiful that we'll talk about something in PM every week, and then people share things from their learnings, experiences. That's so wonderful to hear. And actually, I'm surprising you guys with a connection of talks and random people. But this time I have a surprise even for me. So Supra has a surprise topic for all of us, and I just want her to share what it is. I'm so curious to know. Supra, can you please?
Thank you for the opportunity, Srikanth. And we have been hearing a lot of wonderful talks today, I would say. Really heavy talks, I would say. When it comes to leadership, right, everything is just so strong that digesting itself takes longer duration of time. You start seeing yourself, मैं कहाँ पे गलत हूँ, right? That's what happens. When Kiran talk about value, don't you felt it was in mirror, मैं सचमुच ऐसी हूँ? Am I really doing that thing? Where did I go wrong? This all was happening in the brain, right? But all this leadership, all these talks which everyone did takes us to one thing over there. And I'll be sharing a story and then I'll conclude my talk. So today's story is about two frogs. So let's listen about two frogs. So there were two frogs named one skinny frog and a fatty frog. So they were best friends. Their life was so beautiful and so joyful that they keep hopping around in the countryside here and there. So one fine day, they both are just like brothers and they keep chit-chatting. They talk every possible talks. And one fine day, they were roaming in a farmer's crop yard, and they were jumping, and they moved and they reached to a place where a big bucket was kept. They really could not see what was kept inside the bucket. But they both decided to jump inside that and see actually what is there. And the moment they jumped inside the bucket, there was milk kept in the bucket and it was too slippery. So now they both want to come out of it, but it was very difficult for both of them to come out. So the fatty frog started telling the skinny frog, I think we are going to die today here. There is no chance we are going to come out of it. The skinny frog told, nothing to worry. You keep pedaling and someone might come and help us. So both the frogs started pedaling, and it was about to be sunset. So now the fatty frog lost hope at all. He had no hope at all that he can come out or someone would come to help, because it was already late evening and obviously people would not come and take them out. But what happened, losing this hope of this fatty frog, he left paddling and he lost the hope and he drowned, and he drowned. And the skinny frog really did not lose hope, and he kept pedaling. And what happened? It was milk, right? The churning process happened and the milk got converted to curd or butter or whatever you say. And this frog, skinny frog, got a chance to come to the top, but it was in tears because it is going to lose his best friend. And after the skinny frog came to the top, it jumped out of the bucket. But the next day morning, what happened? He was very sad about losing his best friend. While hopping and again going back to the field, he was in the past memories of all of these things, and he found a lady frog. So once he found this lady frog, he felt like he got a friend, and they both got married, right? After they both got married, they had their kids, and in the memory of his fatty frog, he kept the kid's name with his friend's name. And the story continues. The reason I'm saying the story is, the skinny frog started telling the story of his friend, the fatty frog, that he lost his hope, but he's the same person who came out of that bucket, right? The only message about all the talks today, whatever you heard, it was about a component saying trying. If you hear from any leader, they say, don't use the word try. But let's not think about that. Rather than not doing any single bit of thing, keep trying. He kept pedaling, and then he jumped out of that, and really no one came to help him. It was the process helped him, right? The churning process helped him evolve. So you never know in that churning process when there will be a curd or a butter formed in your life, that you were already in the top and you don't even realize that you have actually reached at a certain level of your life. And that can only happen if you don't give a second thought on anything and keep trying. So that's all for the day for today. And I conclude the talk by saying the beautiful story of the two frogs. Thank you so much, everyone. Over to you, Shrikant.
That's so awesome, Supra. I mean, I'm fascinated by this book club, how people tell kids stories and then they get some values out of it. That's so marvelous. And yes, definitely, it's all about how we take things, and it's based on identity-based outcomes. You should never say, it's like a smoker example is there. A person who continues smoking, he will say, I should quit smoking. And a person who literally wants to quit smoking, he will say, I'm not a smoker. So that's the difference. So you define your identity, and the whole character changes, and that's a marvelous talk. And with this, now I want someone to share about happiness. So you are talking about taking an action, right? So if you take an action, be a person, what kind of happiness it brings. So happiness is one of the key components of our life, and I want Mohini to talk about happiness. Is it what happiness that we are craving or something else? I don't know. Once she says, we'll all get to know. Over to you, Mohini.
Hey, thank you, Shrikant. I really love the way you're connecting the talk. So that's amazing. So yes, so today's topic is happiness is not a goal. So I was just going through my diary recently, and I discovered that one of the goal which I'd mentioned in my diary was to lead a happy life. And then I just gave, I was just after joining the book club, like since last 1 year, the way life has been for me, I feel that happiness is not something which is, which you can achieve in your life. It is just a process. It's a byproduct of doing something. So it's the byproduct of being useful, like how Supra said, and how other people have told us about that. Kiran said that we need to be useful to others. Only then we feel that happiness coming in from us. Like if I share an example, so I love painting, and since last 1 year I've not done that much, but when I used to paint, I always used to give it to somebody else. Like I have only 2 paintings of mine, and most of them I've given. But whenever I used to complete that painting, the happiness when I used to give it to somebody was much more than completing that whole painting. So I really feel that in order to get that happiness, you need to give whatever you have. So you don't have to expect anything out of it, but you just have to give. Only then you get that happiness. If I share one more example, like I was when we were all in lockdown, right? So I got to know one of the NGO, and they were working for the drivers because cabs were not working, right? So for one of the drivers, they gave me his contact details and said that he's not having the job right now. So can you just provide him with the regular ration? So I called this guy, and then I just I just got to know that his wife is pregnant and he needs some food and some protein things, protein powder and fruits. So I ordered everything, and then the next month also I tried doing it. And then suddenly, so I did it for 2 3 months, and then I stopped. Even I moved out of Bangalore, so I forgot about it. And then surprisingly, one day, so from nowhere, I got a call from an unknown number, and that guy called and told me that, ma'am, do you remember me? And I was like, no, I don't know. And then he said, you remember you delivered food at our place, and my wife was pregnant, and we are, blessed with a baby boy. So I just wanted to inform you that, and we're really, happy that you helped us during those tough times. And that gave me immense happiness. Like I was like, that small act of like 2,000, 3,000 rupees ka ration, I gave it to that person, and that person, when he came and he called me at that time, so I was actually going through some tough time at that time. But that small act of giving things to others made me happy. And that's how I started my Instagram channel, because sometimes people come back and then they say, Mohini, your talks were very useful to us, because no matter, I mean, I don't know what other people are going through, but if I share something which I have went through, and that experience matters to others, and when they come back and they say that it really made an impact on me, that makes me happy. So in a nutshell, I would like to say that happiness is not something which you can get by buying things, or by achieving something, or by doing some like you're getting some promotion, or you're buying a new car, or a new house. No, it's not at all related to that. It is just the art of giving. The more you give, the more happiness you receive in your life. Plus, be grateful to whatever you have in your life. I mean, always this gratitude journaling helps a lot. So try doing that gratitude journaling, because I again felt this, that we mostly tend to, not give the importance, or, we don't value things which we already have in our life. So try doing that gratitude journaling. I'm sure it will make you happy. So stop running behind it. It's just a state of mind. You just need to be happy. It's nothing that you can achieve. So yeah, that's all I had. Thank you, Shrikant. Over to you.
That's really awesome. I mean, this is one concept I've been struggling for some time and realized a while back. And I had the same conversation with Kiran after the book club chit chat, right? We were talking about this, and seriously, yes, we all run behind happiness. It's pretty simple as this. How many of you want to buy an iPhone, and you guys have already bought a 6S, and now you want an 8? You bought an 8 and you want a 10. Right? So now you buy 10, and even after 20 years, you will want iPhone 60 version. So you'll think, if I get that iPhone 60, I'll get the happiness. So it's not like happiness isn't about the journey forward. We'll look at it in forward, right? So we should look at the reverse gap. So you come to 8 and look at what you felt when you wanted 8, when you're having 6. So when you look at the reverse way, you will feel that happiness. So that's in the journey. It's never in the future. It stays in the present, right? So that's wonderfully presented concept. I love it. And I've seen that many people are sharing a lot of things, right? So like awesome concepts. And I want to understand how you guys are doing this, but I can't talk to one-on-one right now in the book club. Kiran will beat me to the ground if I do that right now. So maybe we'll ask someone how to make an effective communication. So probably I want Rohit to talk about how to make an effective communication. Rohit, can you please share some things with us?
Thank you, Srikant. It was wonderful. And I was about to speak on some other topic, but suddenly I realized that I have some personal experience that I had just gone through recently. And let me just share those experiences. So there are two series of experience actually I had. So they all happened because of my communication. And as I think Supra was saying, never lose hope. So before, when pandemic started, I was giving lots of interview, and I was not able to crack any of them. I was going to third round, fourth round. I give interview to Microsoft also. There are lots of companies I give. And after some time I realized there is something wrong with my communication. This is not something wrong with my technical skills. So I joined book club in April, May something, and I was practicing, speaking here, and it improved me, and I was not aware of it. So what happened? I gave one interview. After so many interviews, I gave one interview, and I got the job. And I was surprised how I got the job. And I got the job completely different division. I got job in R&D division where I had no experience. And I was thinking, okay, maybe my luck or something like that. Then after some time, just last week, what happened? I was talking to one of my financial advisor, and he is also the alumni of my college, and he runs a successful investment banking company. And I was just directly talking to the CEO of the company because he's alumni of my college. So I got his number, and he gave me his time. And after having conversation about how to invest money, where to invest money, we had around 45 minutes of talking. He gave me one offer. He gave me one job. He told me, Rohit, you are very clear about your things. You are very direct. You are very clear about your thought. Why can't you write an article on it on my website, and I will publish you on your name? Then I realized maybe I have got that skill set, because the CEO of a company, very good company, is giving me this job. It's not a job, but it's a small job, right? 1-time, 2-time job. So, but it's something, right? So I consolidated some point that I just share with you guys, and I will try to explain it. Okay. I hope you are able to see. First thing, what I did in both the things in the interview and when I was talking to the financial advisor, first point I realized I was honest in both the things. Whatever I mentioned in my resume, I know those things. I never, added false things. I was honest, 100% honest, because if I'm not honest with him, if I'm not honest with myself, what I'm doing, right? I need to improve myself. So if I have some lack, if I lack something, then it's fine, right? Whatever I am, I need to be honest. Second thing I realized, I was clear on my thought. Whatever I'm thinking, whatever I think, I ask him whether to invest more in mutual fund, whether to invest more in equity, something like that. I was very clear. I was 25% in this field, 25% in this field. Monthly, I will invest 30 to 40,000, something like that. I was very clear. I was very direct that I want to do this and I am ready to take the risk. I don't have any problem. Same thing I did with the interview. I was clear that I know this field. I never work on the R&D division. I work on this field. If you are okay, then it's fine. Something like that. Fourth point, don't overestimate or underestimate. So this is something very important that we all should cover. You should not, most of the people, what they are doing, they're underestimating. They're not overestimating. There are very few people who overestimate, but there are very less, there are lots of people who underestimate. I mean, they have the potential, but they never realize until something remarkable happen in their life. Even something happened also, they don't realize. If it happened multiple times, then only they'll realize. So don't underestimate that you don't know this thing, or don't overestimate you know everything. Okay. Fifth point is try to connect with the person. So when I was talking with the manager, I will give you two more stories, small stories. So I talked to this manager who was the hiring manager also, and I tell her that I am having only 5 years of experience and I want to work in this field, this areas, all those things, and I live in Bangalore. I know this places, something like that, and I know about your company also, right? I gave some example of the company also, which company I want to work. So I was trying to connect with the person, with the organization. Same thing, what I did, I talked to this financial advisor or the CEO of the company, and I asked him, okay, you're from Madhya Pradesh. Okay, I read an article about you on the this website, and you started in this year, something like that. I was honest, and I was unknowingly trying to connect with the person so that I can communicate better. So these are the 5 points that I wanted to share with you guys. Just don't lose hope. The improvement is not one-day activity. It will happen over time. Just keep practicing. Keep practicing. One day you will achieve whatever you want to do. Thank you very much, guys. Over to you, Srikanth.
Awesome talk, Rohit. And those are some amazing points, because I had a couple of experiences like this, even for my friends. We get surprised how we got selected in interviews. And that is where we see through how honesty, works. And when you are talking about don't underestimate or overestimate, I'm kind of remembering something in machine learning that is called underfitting and overfitting. When you train a model, okay, so it's like it never works if you overfit or underfit. It should be in the right fitting. So even when you are working on things, you should give a right estimation of how things turn out to be and plan in exact way. Yeah, this definitely makes a good communication skill set. Awesome talk. And now comes our last speaker, possibly. And this guy is an international best-selling author, and he has 1 million copies sold. And okay, enough with the jokes. It's me only. Please don't think that much. So, you guys are talking about so many interesting topics and all. I just thought maybe why not pick or copy something that Supra has done, and then put it into my topic. Supra, don't be look at me so weirdly. I'm just taking the theme of what you did. I'm going to tell a quick story to you guys. It's more about an attitude, because now that we heard a lot of things, all we need is an attitude implemented. So I want to talk about a little prince. Okay, so there is this prince who loved a princess a lot, and this princess was abducted by a witch, and she's been kept in a cave way off the mountains. And he's trying to reach that place and, you know, find the princess. No one has ever did that. Like, if this witch captures someone, no one can find them ever. That's it, it's done. But what this guy did is he changed his attitude. He said like, no, I'm gonna find this princess, that's it. And then once he changed his attitude, he started attracting people just like him. Like, he started attracting people who wants to make a difference and, you know, find that princess in that place. And then he was picturing how do I, you know, get to that place, what's my game plan, how do I do all the stuff he's picturing in his mind, and he had a plan now. So one, he has a plan. He made a commitment that I'll pakka get the princess back and I'll marry her, because he's deeply in love with her. And so on his way to the, you know, cave, he saw dragons. So they came to attack him. So while he was trying to fight those dragons, he failed a lot of times. Okay, and then he escaped from the dragons and he tried to cross the mountains. So when he tried to cross the mountains, there is no bridge between mountains. Now he's stuck. He failed. And what he did after that point is, he thought of controlling the dragon and using it to cross the bridge. But there are multiple dragons. How can he control all of those things? So he made friends. And he realized that there are so many princes coming from so many princesses that's been abducted from different kingdoms. So they all made a pact and they defeated the dragons. And using those dragons, they crossed the mountain and, you know, they saved the princess. Nice story, right? So in this whole story, or some lame, stupid story, there are a few things that we should take in. So the first thing, if you look at the prince's determination, so what he is doing is, first he is determining his attitude towards the world. That's the first thing he did, right? And the second thing he did is he pictured his way to success. The third thing he did is his commitment. He committed to what he wanted to do. And the fourth one he did is he had a problem and he turned those troubles into opportunities, like the dragon, as a means to cross the bridge or cross the mountain. And this is what we call as success begins in your mind. So you have to think, you have to commit to yourself, you have to change your attitude. And the next one is what he did is he spoke to many people over the path. He found other princes who were fighting for the princesses of their kingdoms. So he made networking, right? So he motivated people with words, and whenever people ask how you are, he's telling them awesome, even though he feels bad. And that changed his way of behavior inside out. And this is what we call watch your words, because your words define what you are. See, you might have asked someone, hey dude, how's your day? And they say, no man, my day is worse. And you'll feel like, shit, I shouldn't have asked this guy. Here comes big lame story, right? So people will ask you how you are, but it doesn't mean you can tell all your troubles. Be positive and talk positive, so that whatever problems you have will turn to be positive with your attitude. And this is where we call it as watch your words, part 2. And the third one he did is he faced his fears. There came a dragon, he didn't run back. He came out, he fought the dragons, he failed, and he tried again. So that's what he did. He confronted his fears. And then he went out there, he failed. Try and fail, it's okay. And keep continuing until you succeed. That's the second thing. Get out there and fail. The third one he did here is networking, talking to many people. So this is what we call a concept like heaven helps those who act. So these are 3 key pieces of an attitude person who, you know, destined to achieve success. The first one is success begins in your mind. Second one is watch your words. Third one is heaven helps those who act. Someone was talking about action habit. Someone was talking about how to communicate. Someone was talking about habits. So this is what it is. And this whole thing is totally this book. It's called Attitude is Everything. And I told the whole book as a simple story to you guys. And these are all the chapter titles that I told you. And with this, I just want to end my, talk. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Amazing, Shrikant. You did a great job. Shared a very nice story. Rohit was laughing, the attitude and everything. Should all show one book and take a pic. This is also another way of promoting book club. Very nice. Awesome, great. So Shrikant, I think we also have Mitesh with us. Mitesh, if you're there. I don't know if Mitesh is there.
Yes, sir.
So we'll take you, Mitesh, and then maybe Srikanth will help us to summarize. Rohit, I hope you have a summary of all of our talk because you'll record. Okay, all right. Go ahead, Mitesh.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Mitesh Sharma. I'm going to share the story of the king, a Persian king, and two prisoners. There was a cruel king in Persia who gave death sentence punishment to two prisoners who is who both will hang on the next day. Then he asked for them for their last wishes of their life. And king turns to first prisoner. First prisoner said, "Sir, I have no any last wishes in my life. You can hang me on next day." King said, "Okay." And king turns to second prisoner. Second prisoner was so clever, and he knew that the king loved his horse a lot. Then he replied, "Sir, I had a art to train the horse how to fly in the sky within 6 months. If I can't do this, you can shoot me or kill me after 6 months. And sir, I want to request you. You just give me the opportunity to use my arts before death." Then king was thinking, if I had the horse who can fly, I will become the unique king in the universe who has the horse like this. Otherwise, I will kill it. No matters it. Then they both agree with the proposal, and both prisoners sent to the jail. But in the jail, both prisoners took communicating with each other. And first prisoner asked to second prisoner, "Brother, why you lying to king? If you know you don't have any technique or any art to train the horse." Then second prisoner was laughing and replied, "Brother, I knew and you knew the thing. I have no art." But king was not knowing, and king was thinking. The second prisoner said, "I have given some possibilities to myself that if within 6 months, first thing can be done is king will be die because he is not more young, he is too old. Second possibility, maybe horse will be die because it is lesser age and it will become too old and too tired. Third one might be the natural calamities, natural disasters can be caused by death. And fourth one is amazing. That was maybe horse can fly by my teachings. Rather, if I can't do out of these things, maybe I will live 6 months more than you, and you have lose your hope before king, and I have the possibilities to live 6 months more than you." So moral of the story is we should never ever give up. We should find the possibilities in hardest time of the life and keep going on the paths. Thanks you all. Over to you, Srikanth bhai.
Awesome, Mitesh. So I was remembering the short guy in the Game of Thrones. Whatever the situation you put him through, he will always come out alive through his conversation, through his hacks. Yeah, of course, you should never give up, even when you're almost at the verge of failure. You never know where you are, how much distance you are from the success. So that's an awesome story and awesome message for everyone, because we are during tough times, every one of us, and we're all acting upon a lot of ideas. We're reading books, implementing things. So don't do it for a day or for a month and then think like, shit man, this is not working, to hell with this book, and throw it out and start with something else. Don't do that. Because, and one last thing I want to add is, like, for any habit, since you guys have talked about habit, so it's not 21 days or 66 days for a habit to form. It takes 21 days to 256 days to form a habit. So 66 is an average. So we always get confused by 21 days and we'll do it for 21 days. And if it doesn't work, we'll be like, this habit is not working. And for me to, read book every day, it took me 8 months, continuous effort. then it became a habit, and then it became a lifestyle. So never give up, keep working, keep succeeding in what you are doing. And thanks everyone for your awesome talks and joining the book club. Over to you, Kiran.
All right, so Rohit, all over to you. Rohit will quickly give a short summary, and then we'll have a quick group pick as well while we conclude the book club. Rohit,
Yes.
spotlighting.
Okay. Once again, hi everyone. So I'm here with the summary. So our book club started with Nikita's talk, where she talked about how leaders should be, how a leader should be. So she talked about lots of great points about leaders. She gave one very good example of dog. That why we love dog, because dog love us in every situation, in whatever situation we are. So the thing is that we like the person who likes us. We like the person who are like us. That is from Nikita's talk. Then next we had Karthik, who talk about the power of multiplication. So why we need lots of leader, and how multiplication of the leader can help us grow. So he gave example of our book club, where all the leaders are producing more leaders. So that is basically multiplication of the leaders. Third, we had Ars. So he talked about complaining, how complaining is a bad habit, how it can harm us, and how it can affect our life. So he gave some example also. Now next we had Shraddha. So she talked about why we should incubate good habit, why it is difficult to incubate good habit, right? So sorry, incubate bad habit. I'm sorry. So she gave example of the workout. So we all don't want to work out, but we think of us like after 1 year we will be in a good shape, right? So what we can give us the visualization of the outcome, that our good habit will help us. In this way, in this visualization, we will help us take good habit, right? Next we had Kiran. He talked about value system. So how it can affect your life, and how to bring positivity by bringing value addition. So he gave lots of points that help us add more value. And he also give the example of our book club, where people are adding values. So that is basically one example of value addition. Each of our stock are adding values to our life. Next we had PIM summary from Nikita and Soumya. So they covered it really well. So the only point that I can think of now that I feel is really important is that from Vijay's talk is, you should find your passion. So how to find your passion? Basically, that what makes you happy. So see, Nikita gave one example of MBA professor, I think. Yeah, he is 40 plus and he is still searching his passion. So that's a good inspiration. I mean, some people will say that, यार कैसा आदमी है, 45 साल का हो गया अभी तक इसको पैशन नहीं मिला. But some people will say, okay, yeah, he's still finding his passion. That's inspiration. So Nikita said, like, we are very younger than him. We have lots of time to explore, right? So we should find our passion. We should not stuck with the thing that we are doing that are not making us happy. Next, we had Supra. So she gave one surprise talk, the story of two frogs, the fatty frog and the thin frog, basically. So don't lose hope. Try to pedal through your life. You never know when you will reach your top and when your time will come. So apna time aayega, something like that, right? Next we had Mohini. She talked about happiness. So happiness is basically state of mind, and one way to achieve is by giving more and expecting less, I think. So she gave one story of taxi driver, because at the lockdown time taxi driver was unemployed. So she helped one of the taxi driver, and the amount of happiness she achieved through the news that his wife delivered a baby boy, that must have been very good happiness, very big happiness to Mohini. I think that I can also feel that sometimes I also help people and I get this happiness, right? I don't know where this energy came from, but the amount that we spend is very less, but the happiness that we are getting is so much bigger than it. So that's a good story. We all should help our fellow person, whoever we can help in any way. It's not about financial. It can be any form that will give you happiness. Next, we had my talk. I talk about the communication, how to achieve it, and what point you can add to communicate better. And you should be honest, right? And you should not give up. So that's 5 point I covered. Now we had Srikanth, the story of dragon and prince. So in this story there were lots of learning that you should network, you should strategize, and the thing is that success begins in your mind. You visualize success first in your mind, then execute those steps, that MOP in your mind, that how to achieve success. So you should strategize that what you are going to do in order to achieve success. So the story tells us very briefly, and he gave an example of this book. Like, I'm also holding this book. I'm just planning to read it. So that's a really good book, I think. And he explained it really well. He covered all the whole book. I have not read the book, but he covered it. So thank you, Srikanth, for that. Next, at the last, we had Mitesh. He talked about the story of Persian king and two prisoner. And the story, the overall summary of the or the learning from the story is that you should never give up. You should always fight. You should always look for the best. Thank you all. That's all.
Wow, amazingly done, Rohit. We had so much of learnings because consolidating the learning is the most difficult task, I believe, because last time when Prakash used to do, we used to feel so nice, right? All the data which is fragmented, we defragmented and brought it back together. You did the same thing, and I'm sure you learned the most. Great, awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rohit. So before we come and share excitement of Srikanth's hosting, we'll quickly take the photo so that people who are there with us, we can capture the moment.